Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, it's time for the VooDoo Chef Podcast, where we will discuss all things voodoo from the VooDoo Studios located right here in beautiful Tampa, Florida. So to all my booties out there, if you're looking for nothing but a good time, this is the place to be. Call your friends, knock on the neighbor's door, and let them know it's time to party like a rock star for the next hour. Join me and my guests and learn to voodoo like we do as we discuss our faves and the voodoo that we use. I'll put our guests on the spot as we ask for their top 3, and make sure and listen as we discuss some of our favorite war stories from the kitchens we've worked in. Sit back, grab a tall glass of your favorite libation, and enjoy this episode of the VooDoo Chef Podcast.
What's going on, Booties? The very first, whatever you want to call this, video, YouTube, podcast, who knows? Ed, what the hell do you call this thing we're attempting here? I don't even know.
Bullshit came to mind, but, you know.
Yeah, it always is with us.
You know, it's like, I don't know. This is like some bizarro shit. I can't figure it out, you know.
It's definitely not the same without you sitting here in VooDoo Studios with me. And, people are actually getting a look behind me at some of VooDoo Studios. And you're sitting at your Casa de Ed over there. It's definitely a little different than our normal podcast.
Oh, yeah. I try not to sit in this office other than the regular school day because, you know, it's a box. I mean, I can look out the window, but that's about it, man. I feel like the guy on Prodigal Son that's in the cell, you know, the dad. So, I just live with it.
VooDoo Studio is kind of a box here too, but I've got a whole bunch of temptations around me. I got the guitars behind me. I've got the computers that we use for a podcast, and then I've got my old friend Jack, who hangs out here in VooDoo Studios with us.
Makes it bearable.
Well, the bar's hanging over there. Well, we did add to VooDoo Studios because hopefully we have football season coming up. We did put a TV in VooDoo Studios so we could get some of those Bucks games that are going to be coming up. How about that?
That'll be interesting, especially if they play them with no crowds.
It's going to be interesting. The only crowd's going to be that sideline crew that's not allowed to be on the sideline.
Exactly. They're going to need those guys now.
More than ever. Somebody's got to deflate those balls for Brady, huh?
That's right, man, because the Florida weather ain't going to do it.
So, we got a lot of things coming up, Ed, but before we do, one thing I always like to do, I like to go backwards to go forward. And, the podcast is kind of probably the newest thing we've been hanging out doing since all this voodoo insanity got started. We started with the sauces and the seasonings for all you newbies out there. I started that back in the day. I think it was a Thursday. And we did that to kind of help raise money to send some kids to school. And it was just, low key, no big deal, kind of, almost cottage industry type stuff. But it really quickly took off. We started putting stuff in bottles. We became the official sauce and seasoning at Gasparilla. VooDoo Chef was born, and then a whole bunch of craziness just took place after that. And, we're going on quite some time now. And I think you have been probably in my corner longer than anybody. And, it goes back to that first parade that we actually did. And, if you know me, and don't mind the disco show, the lights are automatic. They're going to come on and off all night. It goes back to that first parade we did. And if you really know me, I really don't like crowds. And, I don't trust many people either. And I said, hey, Ed, can you come out and just, when I'm looking this way, you look that way. And you said, I got your back, man, no matter what. And, we've been hanging out, having a good time doing this craziness since then. And I want to personally thank you for that. And, I don't know that I've ever really said that. And I want to tell you that in front of everybody. All the Voodies out there need to know that you've been there since day one.
I appreciate that. I'm humble, but I'm pretty sure you told me before.
Well, we do stuff, and we like to kind of recognize things like that. And I didn't know what really would say Ed, but then I saw it, and then I had to hang out with it, and I had to hang on to it, and I had to play it in a couple parades. And the thought was that before all this craziness, we were going to get to have that last parade, and I was going to get to thank you in front of everybody right there and give you something that was rather deadly with pointy horns.
Oh, cool.
That was VooDoo. And so, hopefully I'll see you soon and be able to give this to you in person. And this will be hanging in your office now as just a small token of gratitude from me, my friend.
I appreciate that.
Nice little devil horned SG, partner.
I love that, man.
You see there?
Look at that. That is too cool, man. I am.
Well, we auction those off. We give them to sponsors every now and again. You're more deserving than most. So my way of gratitude, the least I could do, even better if you just come over here to VooDoo Studios and we do like we do. You know the rules. You play what you want to play. I play what I play. And you play what you want. As long as you play loud and have a drink in your hand.
I'm all about that, man.
I don't think we've done it in quite some time. The last time we did, you picked up a big growler and came over and we just hung out and it was a great time.
I do remember that. Yep, I stopped at the ABC right around the corner from
you. A lot of things going on that we have to share before our guest comes in today. We've been doing a lot of cooking. We've been doing a lot of soul searching, a lot of thinking during this time. And if you follow us on Instagram, and it's at VooDoo Chef 13, you see a lot of new stuff that we're putting out there and a lot of new dishes that we're trying to have some fun with. If you're interested in any of the happenings that could be going on with VooDoo Chef, we have you can always follow at VooDoo Chef 13. But our catering arm, if you will, we do custom created at-home events. We got a lot of things coming up. If you want to see anything that we're doing in regards to catering, log on to VooDoo Chef Society. And that's going to be more specific to the food and the catering that we're doing and opportunities where you can maybe get to taste some VooDoo food in the near future. So if you're interested in that, jump over to VooDoo Chef Society on Instagram and check that out. Something else super cool that we haven't really had time to share happened right before this madness was VooDoo Underground. And if you're not aware of VooDoo Underground, we actually did a high school competition where we challenged high school culinary programs to create a VooDoo-inspired burger. And we didn't just ask them to create it. We put them in a single elimination competition where they competed head-to-head and cooked the burgers for us. And maybe it's just because I like eating burgers, but we got to hang around and taste hamburgers all day and recognize some schools. And we had some great stuff happening there. We actually had a couple of restaurants that were going to put the winning burger on the menu, and then they shut down the damn state. So, we're hoping they bring that back. Big congratulations to Paul Bonanno and his winning team. They did an amazing burger. They made an amazing sauce that went on the burger. And they did just a great job of pulling it off. And to actually win, they had to cook 80 servings of that burger. So hats off to them for the job they did. Well done. Other than that, jump on our Facebook, Chef Eric Young's. Maybe it's just Eric Young's. I don't even know. I don't know what it's called. Find me. VooDoo Chef. at VooDoo Chef 13, the Insta, the Twitter, and we even have TikTok. You know, I used to joke and say we even have Snapchat. I don't know how to use it, but we have it. Now I say we have TikTok. I don't know. My daughter wants to make a TikTok. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Do you have TikTok?
I do not. I think I'm about 38 years too old. I know a 14-year-old, and she loves jumping on that. So I just look at it with like utter disbelief and perplexed look on my face.
Well, the Chinese won. I mean, you know, they've got us all wrapped into TikTok while we're on lockdown, hanging out.
Oh, sure. I mean, the highlight of my day is walking the dogs. You know, I get out and go around the block, and if I pass anybody, they avoid me. It's kind of great. You know, I've been looking forward to this for ages in a way.
This is a world we love, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, the modified State Farm. Like a good neighbor, stay over there. Good place for you.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We're thinking about having a party when this is all over.
Oh.
And I don't know what this is, man. I need my barber to come back. I don't know who it was, but somebody said we should have a Corona party and serve Corona. And there's a problem with that. I won't drink that. So I said, why don't we have a fuck Corona party and only serve Jack Daniels?
Yeah, there you go. Anything but Corona. ABC, you know, that's perfect.
Well, you know what, man? Our first guest is here, and let's get him in the room. And I'm not certain how the fuck this is going to work, but we're going to find out together. Tonight we got a former educator, and I got to ask him. I don't even know what he taught, and I don't want to say it's not because I don't care, but you know, anybody that's an educator, you just kind of got to give them props for doing that. You know, we've been doing this a long time, and I don't know about you, but I find it humorous to see all these memes and even just straight out, I can't do this anymore comments from parents who are struggling. Have you seen any of that stuff?
I see it all the time, man. I mean, I've been seeing it now it's like a month and a half, and you know, it's like now you understand why we are able to do what we do and how challenging it can be in some cases, you know, and it's almost, I don't know if it's been publicized enough or not, but in the state overall, since we kind of, everything went to shit in a pot March 13th, nearly half the kids in the state have not logged on. So,
yeah, it's crazy.
You know, I won't get into the reasons or anything but that shows you how challenging it is to get kids to work and how school is essentially the unifying factor that gets them to do that. If you take that away from them, they're freewheeling, man. They're rolling down a hill with no brakes.
You know, and I don't even want to get on the soapbox. I don't want to talk about the institution. You know, but it's more than just, I hate to say it's more than the teachers, but it is. It's the whole package.
Sure.
It's getting them out, getting them in the building, going through the motions, doing the work, all driven, teacher-driven, definitely teacher-driven, and the relationships we make. But my favorite was, I saw, you know, have you seen the COVID rules? It's okay to start drinking at 10 a.m. if you're on lockdown. And if you're not on lockdown, it's okay to start drinking by 10 a.m. But you know, I saw somebody post, you know, teacher got fired today for drinking on the job. Yeah, you know, they're talking about themselves because they can't fucking handle it. And I just go back to the time when I used to look at parents. You know, I've been out of K-12. Coming up in 2 months, it'll be 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, time flies. But I remember, you know, it's not the kid. The parent would be like, I'll get on. It's not the kid. It's you. You're the problem.
Yeah.
These are the same parents who are probably bitching today, going, "Oh, I can't do this. Open the schools back up." Yeah, you learn how to parent, or don't have
All the
kids.
time, man.
Well, different soapbox, different day. Today we're talking about barbecuing. Former educator Sam Creighton's in the building. We're going to get him in here. We're going to talk to Sam about all things barbecue. Sam is actually working. I want to say working. I think he might be one of the owners at the Fishhawk Pinch a Penny, and he's joining us right now. What's up, brother? Can you hear us? You can hear us here. Maybe, I don't know. It's like we're teaching class. His audio is still connecting. But there we go. What's up, Sam?
Hey, how you doing, Chef?
Great, man. Have you met Ed? Meet Ed, co-host, the podcast. He's the guy that keeps it all moving.
Nice to meet you.
So we were just talking, we went to intro you and we got sidetracked because you're a former educator. So we started talking shit about all the parents who are struggling being at-home teachers right now. How long have you been out of education?
Just over a year now.
Just over. Are you on your back patio right now?
I am.
Gotta love. Is that the green egg right next to you?
One of them.
And I see your branded charcoal right there. We'll get to that in a minute. You've been out for about 3 years. Where did you teach? Hillsborough County, right?
1 year. Yes, I taught in Hillsborough County for just over 7 years.
And what subject?
I taught history at first, but then I became the ESE specialist, so I was in charge of the special education department for my high school.
That's how you know how to handle me so well.
That's how we met, for sure.
We actually, look at that. He's got the brand, too. I could tell by the color.
Absolutely.
Look at that.
Oh, nice.
Look at that. That's not iced tea and Tito's.
No, the cup and the refill.
The cup, and we might have to get another one. So tell us, you're out at the Pitch a Penny, and I said you're working out there, but you're part of the ownership group out there, yeah?
Yes, my in-laws started the company 12 years ago, and then I've come in and joined with them.
And so, we say Pinch a Penny, we don't really think barbecue, we think pools and pool supplies. Bring us up to speed on that.
So the whole theory for Pinch a Penny is pool and patio. So of course we take care of pools, we fix equipment, we install equipment, but we're more than that. We're talking about the whole outside and bringing indoor living outdoors. So I run a whole remodeling division to make your patio outside look as nice as your inside. And we're a platinum big green egg dealer. So we do a lot with cooking.
What does platinum dealer for green egg mean?
So it's a status that we're the highest that they offer. There's only so many of us in the area, per state, per city. And means that we stock every size that they make and almost every accessory that they offer. So you have to be able to carry so many SKUs, stock all of their sizes, keep them available for customers, not just to see in the store, but to purchase and take with them. And then you also have to do a certain volume.
Man, for something that large, you got to have warehouse space. You got to have movement. I mean, a lot of moving parts, and to manage that's a big deal. I have a trick question for you. Make sure you answer properly, or we might have to exit you from the podcast. What's the number one accessory for the green egg? Notice I didn't say what's the number one BGE accessory. What's the number one accessory for the big green egg?
Well, you got to have what you're cooking with. So
yeah, absolutely.
And the flavor. I mean, it's all about flavor.
It's all about flavor. So Ed, you got any questions? I mean, jump in anytime. I mean, normally we're just hanging out at the table drinking anyways.
I'm good with that.
I don't have an egg, so I don't know what I don't know, but everybody I do loves it because of the heat control, the ability to zone, just the ability to do everything. So I'm here to learn right now.
What I liked about the egg, and right now I don't have an egg. I'm looking to get back into that market.
We're going to change that soon for you, Chef.
All right. is the heat retention. I mean, when that egg gets hot, it's a big ceramic piece of machinery there. It holds that heat. It almost reminds me of, cooking in the wok stations back in the early 80s at Castaway. We had a wok station, and I was just totally enamored by the ceramic shell and how it held the heat and kept the temp. And same thing with the egg. It gets to that temp, and it holds on to it. And I wasn't as skilled as maintaining the temp as most, but, Sam's teaching me a couple tricks with that. He's got some nice little, out of necessity comes ingenuity, right? He's got some cool technology that helps with that. Can you tell us about that? Tell us about your egg and what you like best, brother?
So it really is the ultimate cooking experience, and that's kind of cliche because that's their slogan, but you can do everything. You can bake, you can roast, you can smoke, you can sear, you can grill. I mean, anything you can do inside your house, I can do outside on my egg. I've done everything from breakfast to dessert. I did a red velvet birthday cake for my mother-in-law one year, so just everything.
You said something. You said something there, Sam. You said you can do anything in the house, outside the house.
Exactly.
Did a woman invent the big green egg to get the man outside of the house on the back patio away from her?
Probably just to get us cooking. They wanted to share responsibilities or pass them on. But I'm okay with it because I love it.
You have like 3 or 4 of them, don't you?
I do.
I mean, you got an amazing setup at your house, and it's part of your outdoor living experience, if you will. You can actually, I could hire you to come build my entire outdoor living space, including nests out of stone for my eggs, worktops. I think it's badass, and maybe we'll try to plop some pictures up when this actually posts and cut them in. But you guys do an amazing job with that.
I appreciate that, Chef. We take a lot of pride in what we do and making sure that everything is excellent, if you will, and making sure that what you're getting is everything you want it to be. It's not just about the food, it's about the egg experience.
How much have you been drinking? Show me that bottle again.
I'm a little punny when it comes to it. So, I mean, it's a little low.
So, we talk about green eggs, and we've been talking about that because you're a dealer. There are other brands, and we have to be true. I'm not sponsored by Green Egg. I'm not sponsored by any of the cooks. You got the Kamado out there. I don't know the rankings of the orders. Green Egg's number one. Number
Absolutely.
one, far and above. What's number 2 in the competitive market? Do you know?
Kamado Joe is coming along. There's a lot of bang for your buck. They've
Right.
got a lot of gimmicks and accessories that they include with it. But, when's the last time there was a Kamado Fest? Or, what kind of Facebook
And
group
we
or
know Green
Kamado
Egg's number 1. We're not here to slam Kamado or any of those other boys. We're here to educate and learn. I saw one the other day that is all aluminum. Do you know what brand that is?
There's a couple.
Do you know
different
anything
ones
about
out
it?
there. I personally have not cooked on one. I have a friend that bought one thinking it was their way to get into the egg experience. But the difference is because it's metal, it doesn't hold the heat like the ceramic does. So it's essentially
the all aluminum is more than the egg.
That I didn't know. I know that there were some other ones that are out there that are real pricey, but the
There's
ones,
I was looking at an all aluminum egg. You buy VooDoo's at all barbecue shops wherever we can get it in. So I see and I ask questions. I cook on a Weber, and I'm not talking about an old barrel cone, whatever you call them. I cook on a gas grill. I mean, I'm a restaurant guy. That's my forte. Doesn't mean I can't cook on the egg. Doesn't mean I don't cook on the egg. I've won competitions cooking on the egg. But when it's time to go, it's just in my blood. I go right to the gas grill. But I was looking at this aluminum grill because it's all silver and shiny. It's like my kitchen at work. And I'm like, tell me about this. And they talk about the heat retention, all the same stuff you're talking about the egg. And I'm like, wow, what's this cost? And it was like over $2,000. And I'm like, fuck that.
Holy shit.
And it was about the size of a large egg. And I'm just like, no way in hell, that's not happening. No way. What I like about the egg is it's compared to what Joe Public is used to, it is a little expensive. But when you're looking at the quality of the grill and what you get, it's a great product. It's
Absolutely.
a great product.
There's a lot that you get for it too. That initial upfront cost can cause a little shock factor when you're talking about $1,000 for a grill, but there's just so many things that come along with it, including a lifetime warranty. So it's the last.
And that's probably the biggest deal right there.
Until you buy a second one, anyway.
Have you ever seen one shatter?
Yes.
It's like cool as shit, but you feel so bad.
I delivered a new egg today to a customer who knocked theirs over, and I have a picture of it. I'll upload. So I shed a tear. But
is that lifetime warranty there?
It doesn't, warranty user error.
It doesn't cover drunkenness.
Yes.
Oh, shit. Guess that rules me out.
So, we talk about the eggs. We talk about all that. I do want to talk real quick because I know you have a particular charcoal that you're all about. Tell me, it's a lump charcoal, so you got no chemicals, no additives, none of that shit in there. Tell us the brand you use and the why.
So I use a lot of Jealous Devil now.
And you know what? Just the fucking name is so voodoo. I love it.
It's so awesome. Let me grab this bag and show you. How cool is that logo? The guy, the lumberjack with the stake and the fire. It's just badass.
So aside from the logo, tell me about the burn. I noticed you put a picture up about the length of the burn you got on that wood.
So it's all quebracha, and quebracha is one of the hardest woods in the world. So that means because it's so dense, it burns longer, it can burn hotter, it burns cleaner. There's hardly any smoke or ash in comparison to other brands, especially some of the poor brands that people don't like to use. So you don't get a lot of that real overpowering smoky flavor that you get with cheap wood. And if you want to add your own smoky flavor, like apple chips or chunks or pecan, some of those milder flavors, you actually get to taste it instead of just the smoke from the coal.
That's super cool. What's your wood of choice?
When I add, I like to use pecan.
Why? Just curious.
I just like the flavor of it overall. It's mild. It's not too potent where it takes away from the meat itself. It's got a good smell to it, so it helps with the color that I get from it is really nice as well.
Now, I think I saw you doing pizzas in your egg. Is that a true statement?
Absolutely.
All right, I want you to try something for me because this I really do miss with my egg. I used to do cherry wood on my pizzas, and it's like the best fucking thing ever. I don't care what kind of pizza you make. The cherry wood puts such a flavor into that dough. It is just like fucking insane, and I miss that. So I don't know when you're doing pizza again, but you got to get some cherry up on that bitch.
I definitely will. I got pizza on the menu this week.
Well, on the menu. Speaking of menu, what'd you have this past weekend?
So I did a very special recipe, magic ribs. Chef was kind enough to share his own recipe, and it was excellent. I had all kinds of people raving over it. I did a few racks of it, had a beautiful bite, a perfect picture, which we'll share as well. And I did the 4 racks of them that were delicious. So I had one for me and my family, and the other 3 were all to share. So I had a kid that works for me whose dad's from Texas, who he's always telling me about how great his dad's barbecue is. I reheated him one in the microwave, and he said, "My dad can't do anything like this."
Well, that's a testament to you and your skills on that egg. And I'll take a little bit for the flavor because you put our products on there, and I appreciate you for that. So for all you novice out there or not in the know, it's I don't want to say it's not hard. It's definitely a skill. It's definitely an art. When you look at these barbecuers, especially you go to an egg fest, you see these guys just creating works of art. I like to talk about Chef Richard Knott and the plates he puts out on Instagram. I follow Chef Plates. I follow all kinds of different restaurateurs and the stuff they're putting out. These barbecuers are doing the same thing, all cooked off of that egg, and it's beautiful stuff. I don't want to say it's not hard, but it's like anything else. If you know how to cook and you know the meats and you know the processes, you could knock this stuff out. So, my method for ribs is nothing magic, no pun intended. I follow the basic 3-2-1 method, and if you're a barbecuer out there, you know what that is. If you don't, I'll share you the quick version. You cook three slabs of ribs. You invite 2 people over, and one of them is me. That's the real basic 3-2-1 method.
I got lured.
Not even close. So 3 hours slow and low, 2 hours wrapped, 1 hour to candy. Correct?
Yeah.
Is that about? I mean, as easy as it gets there, Sam?
Oh yeah, it's super simple.
All right. So what we do different, and a lot of people will put some mustard down on their ribs to get that outside rub to stick. We use VooDoo Chef Southern Gold. Why just stick with mustard? Why not put that barbecue sauce on there and get all the flavor? Then we hit them with magic. When I do them, I generally let them set in the refrigerator overnight. It has nothing to do with anything other than my timing schedule, meaning I don't have time to come home and do a full cook start to finish. So I'll get them ready the day before and plan to cook the next day. How long did you let yours sit, Sam?
So I took your advice and I let them sit overnight.
Okay. If I was talking to somebody, and I think I even recommended it to you, 2 hours on the counter is enough. I would really just leave them set out, not for anything else other than to let them get to room temp so that they're not cooking from a cold state, having to go cold to room and then up. And we're getting a better cook that way because that's how things are written. They're written from that room temperature state, not from the refrigerator. So 2 hours should be more than enough. And then we throw them on slow and low. I do 225, and I'm actually using a pellet fed. So I'm using what am I using, Sam? Traeger. I have a Traeger pellet fed grill. I set it and forget it. It controls the temperature for me. I do 225 for the first 3 hours. And you did the same, right?
I did.
Now, green eggs don't have
225 unwrapped.
And they don't have a temperature control, right? Green eggs, you set the temperature manually, generally.
Correct. So it is pretty simple to regulate temperature with a big green egg. However, there are devices that you can put in to make it just like that pellet or just like your oven, where it will absolutely maintain that temperature pretty exact for you for as long as you want it to.
And you sell those tools at your store, right?
Absolutely.
They're located right next to the VooDoo Southern Gold Magic. So we slather them with Southern Gold. We put on the Magic, and you did 225 slow and low for 3 hours.
Yep.
After that, we pull them out, and they generally get wrapped and put back in with some sort of liquid. Most people are going to say, put some apple juice in there, this and that. In VooDoo's case, we tent foil them, and we put Fat Boy in there. Fat Boy is my version of an Eastern North Carolina barbecue sauce, but it does some amazing things when you tent with it, right, Sam?
It does. That flavor that you get, and because it is a lighter sauce, not as thick, it helps steam up and helps moisturize those ribs while they're in there with the foil.
That foil, while it's in there, that just helps break down that sinew, those connective tissues that are just naturally in there. So you got to put that in there to create that process. You got to have that moisture to break down that collagen. So after we get that going, that's 2 hours inside the foil. And guys, I'm telling you, you foil tent them and you walk away. Don't sit there and go, well, shit, we're on 5 hours already. That's all right. Put them in there for your 3 hours, go do something, come back, foil them. put them in for the 2, go do something, come back. That final hour is when the magic happens. That's when you take the smokehouse and you create that candy by mopping. How often did you mop? I do it every 10 minutes.
I did it 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And it just creates that nice candy on the outside. Did you temp up at all when you do it? Do you normally temp up?
I don't normally. I did this time just because I wanted to follow the directions. I think it gave me a really nice bite at the end because it helps toughen the meat back up,
Yep.
strengthens it back up so that it's not completely fall off the bone. It was, fall off enough that you could eat it easily, but I could pick the bone up and still hold the rib.
And, I love watching these barbecue shows where people pick up the rib, the bone, and pull it out. And I'm just like, you fucked up that meat, dude. And they're like, oh, it's cooked perfect. It's not a butt.
Yeah.
We're talking ribs. And my buddy Vince says, someone asked me if I could cook ribs that are fall off the bone tender. And I looked at him and I said, why would I fuck up a good piece of pork rib? So Sam, tell us, honest opinion, what'd you think of those ribs?
They were phenomenal. The flavor was great. The method was great. I mean, the method, like you said, is pretty simple. I've hardly ever used sauce, especially that many different kinds, but I just couldn't believe the flavor profiles that I got from each one. And all the years that I've been doing this and all the racks of ribs that I've done, I can't believe I never thought to use a mustard barbecue sauce instead of mustard. It sounds like so simple, but such a great additional flavor.
And it's one of those things, again, out of necessity. I was cooking ribs one day and I didn't have mustard. And I'm like, well, fuck it, I'm just going to use my Southern Gold. And I was like, why am I not using my Southern Gold? And just amazing. And I remember I put the picture up where, I cooked the ribs and I put them in the refrigerator. And they were for the girls, so they could eat them when they wanted them. I don't know about you, but maybe it's the restaurant in me. When I cook something, just give me a grilled cheese and let me go away. So I put the ribs in the refrigerator, and then I went in and the girls were eating them. So I said, all right, let me have one. And I came back out to the studios and I took a bite, and I was like, that fucking bite. Look at that fucking bite. And I took a picture and posted it, and you were like, damn, that's nice. And that's when we started the conversation. So I appreciate the follow. I appreciate the compliments. I appreciate the cook. And I appreciate your support of VooDoo, man.
I love what you stand for. Not only is it the best tasting stuff, but what you created it for and stand behind. As a former educator, my wife an educator, that's more important to me than the flavor, which is also amazing.
I was going to say, don't downplay the flavor, Poppy.
Yeah. The flavor, it is the best stuff. The Smokehouse is the best barbecue sauce I've ever had. I'm not a mustard guy, but the Southern Gold is just delicious. And
you're not a paid advertising guy here. And, I want everybody to know, you use all other products. You sell all other products at your store. And I appreciate the kind words. I want people to know that. I mean, your job is to promote product. But you and I have had some nice conversations over the year or so that we've known each other, and I appreciate all the kind words. I want you to know that. So what is your number one seller at the store?
VooDoo Dirt, hands down.
VooDoo Dirt, but it's our number one seller too, hands down. Until recently, I have to tell you, we don't keep large inventories. We turn them over pretty quick, and we buy more and turn it over pretty quick. And small batch is the way to go because everybody's getting a fresh product. But we're sold out of magic, you bastard. You glorious bastard. You do a cook, you put out this amazing product, and in 3 days, I've sold out of fucking magic, bro. Great job. I mean, that was a little bit of sarcasm and a little bit of gratitude.
I do what I can. I'm a little disappointed because my stockpile's almost empty too.
Well, your case is on the way. I did that before. I took care of you before I took care of the outsiders.
I appreciate that, Jeff.
So if anybody's out there, tell us how we get to, before we move on, because we've got more planned, man. We're about to just like fuck your world in a good way.
All
Tell
right.
us your social media. So if anybody wants to see the cook you're doing or the people in your group, tell us how we find you.
So my Instagram is at Big Green Eggs and Sam, all spelled out, all together. I know I see
It's
you
my
laughing,
favorite.
Chuck, but
It's
you
one
know,
of my favorite.
when you grow up named Sam and your favorite book as a kid is Big Green Eggs and Ham or Green Eggs and Ham, it just makes sense.
Dude, it
So,
sticks. It's sticky. I
so
love it.
I do have that Instagram handle, and then I run a Facebook group, Big Green Eggheads of Tampa Bay. I created that just over a year ago, just to truly to build the following. You know,
Right.
the thing about eggs versus others is it's a
You're a
hobby
fucking
for
cult.
and it is a cult for
You're a
sure.
fucking cult.
Everybody just wants in, and once you start, you can't stop. That's why
And I'm a jealous motherfucker because they're geniuses. They create this product, they create their own cult following, and then they sell every accessory known to man, and everybody has to have them all.
yeah.
You guys, they're rock stars. They're
Once
geniuses.
you get one, I
And
tell
it's a great
people every
product.
time, all this stuff on the wall is going to be in your house, so make sure you start making room.
Well, that's why I don't have a green egg. I don't have room for all the accessories. All right, so Sam, I don't know if you know, we're going to talk some more barbecue here in a minute, but we've got a second guest joining us. His name is Jason Morey, and Jason Morey is the owner, the head guy, the lead. He is Bon Jovi of the Bon Jovi tribute band, the ultimate Bon Jovi tribute band, Slippery When Wet, and he's joining us right now. Jay, what's going on, partner? Oh, we got to fix that audio. Let me see. You do it or I do it? I can't do it. You got to do it.
There it comes.
What's going on, buddy?
How are you?
How's life in Hotlanta, bro?
It's good, considering.
Well, we got Sam Creighton with us. He owns a Big Green Egg dealership, platinum dealership out in Fishhawk, and we've been talking barbecue. We got Big Eddie C with us like always, so it's about to get a little crazy in here. I don't know. You drinking? What are you drinking?
I have Gatorade right now.
Dude, do you know what
I feel
podcast
so
you're on?
bad with water.
Look, man. Look. I guess it has to be in the studio for you to have a drink? I'm just messing with you, bro. I'm just messing. Everybody's doing it, man. Everybody. No pressure. So tell us what's going on with Slippery before we start chatting.
Currently nothing. There's a coronavirus going on. I don't know if you knew that.
I don't watch. We all know I don't watch the news.
No, we're waiting this out, and the dates that we had booked are being postponed, and there's some encouragement, especially here with us in Georgia, of some openings and whatnot. That I tend to think if numbers don't go nuts here, that we'll be playing by Memorial Day, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think we're going to open up pretty soon. That's just me. Ed was telling me some cool shit they're doing here. Because of zoning and CDC and the distance we got to keep, they're blocking off streets, and the restaurants are setting up tables in the streets.
Oh,
So like 7th Avenue's blocked off, and the restaurants are overflowing into the city streets. I think that's badass.
Yeah, that's cool.
What else are they doing that downtown too?
So from what I read, they're doing some streets in Ybor, definitely 7th. They're doing a few streets downtown. They're doing Twigs, Franklin, and I think Grand Central. And then they're doing some streets over here in the STD area. They're doing Swan, Snow, and part of Howard. Not the entire ones, but like Snow is over there in Hyde Park Village. And
Right.
realistically, nobody needs to be driving on that fucking street anyway. It's too narrow and it winds, and it looks like it was designed by a drunken clown. So they're dragging tables out, and the mayor has suspended all of the normal zoning and permitting that goes with that, so that they can bring some tables out into the street, put them apart, and try to approximate what their normal business would be, because 25% indoors, I mean, some restaurants have said, we're just not going to bother opening, because they've kind of recalibrated their business model over to takeout, And with 25%, it's not worth it for them. So,
Gotta do the math.
everybody's hoping. Wow, lovely, nice job there.
New word.
Yeah, hoping. They're hoping that what they call the RT rate stays below 1.0, because if it's below 1.0, then it's not spreading. Over 1.0 means one person is giving it to one person. So if those things continue to hold, then, in a week or two, they could say, okay, maybe 50% capacity and go from there. Everybody thinks they're an expert. And, right about this time, people that normally don't trust government stats do, and then normally people that do don't. It's just nonsense. But I'd like to see, people getting back to something that approximates normal, because I'm going to tell you right now, if I can't go to a concert for the rest of this year, bad shit.
There's the reality. I've got crew tickets. I've got crow tickets. I've got GNR tickets. I mean, come on now. Let's be real.
Yeah. So, I can't imagine not being able to. I mean, I guess they're just hoping at some point, if it stays down, then we get to a herd immunity. I have a doctor that lives on the corner with me, and he's a pretty sensible guy, and he really never seemed to be concerned, because he said, well, people that have bad cases, they have a lot of what he calls comorbidities. Basically, you got other fucked up shit. And I believe him, because he's a sensible guy, and this is what he does. So I'm just not a big fan of living in fear of anything. I used to think of myself as antisocial, but now I realize, maybe I need to be out a little bit more. I need a concert. I need to wander out to a restaurant or whatever, because going into Sprouts with a mask over my face so I can get fresh bananas, that ain't cutting it, brother.
Don't wear the mask, man. You're all right. You'll be all right, I promise.
Well, my mask.
Don't listen to me.
You know what my mask is? It's one of those old, we got those headband things at an old Bucks game, and mine is a John Lynch one. So I pull it over my head and I pull it up over my nose. And hey,
have you signed any autographs?
No, not yet. Most people stare at me like they're the frightened villagers and Frankenstein just wandered in the center of town.
I gave up on the mask. I ain't got time for that.
Nah,
me too.
I do it just so everybody shuts up. My doctor said, dude, you got allergies, you got asthma, you probably need to do it. So he's a sensible guy. So I'm like, all right, not that he's watching me, but it's the guilt thing, Catholic school and all that shit. I got to do it.
So, Jay, we've been talking about restaurants and all this release. You did an online event. What was that?
Oh, we did a little fundraiser for First Responders Children Foundation, and we'd shot a concert in October that we hadn't done anything with, and so I edited it down. We had people submit questions, and so all of us did interview stuff or whatever, and I edited that into it, and so we were able to send some money to them, and
Very nice. And any chance we're going to see some of these, these guys get on and they play their guitars all night and they got their tip jar out? That's not what I would expect to see from Slippery, but any chance for a ticketed event where we get to see you guys playing live?
Well, we actually got approached to do one of those such things or whatever, and so I don't know if we're going to do it or not. We play, and so this is the longest that I haven't played in 20 years, and so
right,
it's strange. It's not my MO to do the whole live from my living room, whatever, every Tuesday night. I'm not going to do that, and so we're kicking around some things. There's a place here in town that's promoting to do this isolated live broadcast stuff and whatever. And it's the donation thing and all that type, whatever. We might do it, but I don't know.
Well, definitely if you do it. What's that?
And again, positively thinking, we could very well be playing in 3 weeks. And so,
yeah, that would be great. And
I go out, then, a lot of that stuff will cease to happen.
Are you, and this is just me being a curious motherfucker. It's like you and me talking on the phone. Are you targeting the different states who are opening up in different, we have different release dates. I mean,
Sure.
are you tracking that, or are you just,
I
when
mean,
it happens, it
I
happens?
mean, we're looking at it, the fact that we're in Georgia, that helps, and you guys will be just behind, but no, I mean, like I was saying to you, I've been called from different promoters and this and that all these, mid-level touring acts that would do like your House of Blues or whatever, like none of them, they're writing off the rest of this year. And so the high-level tribute acts are going to be in heavy demand here once, all this lifts everywhere. And so, no, I imagine right up the East Coast. I don't know about New York for a little bit, I think is going to be,
So where can we find information on Slippery When Wet?
slipperywhenwetband.com. And it's that same handle on Insta and Facebook and all that.
Real quick, tell us the story, because most people, your business card has one of my favorite lines. Your business card says, Jason Morey, I sing songs, motherfucker. Why are you smirking? It's a true statement.
It's
Am I
not
lying?
a I give out. I give it out to people that,
You mean you don't give that out to promoters and club owners?
Church gatherings.
That's what I was hoping for, convents.
But
When I make a card to cater for church events, it's going to say, I cook meat, motherfucker.
I don't know where the fuck I was going with it now, because that's funny as fuck to me. I know. Most people don't know you really like to cook and you really like food. And when you're traveling around, one of the things you like to do is find places to eat, and you'll always call me up and you say, hey, have you tried, what was the last one? The bourbon. What was the bourbon like? Oh, salted caramel bourbon was the last one I remember, and you brought some, and it was whiskey, and it was good. It was really good. And you call me up and you ask me all these different questions, and you'll be like, I think you're the one that got me to make the fucking goddamn white sauce. Hey, you got a white sauce? And I'm like, all right, motherfucker, we'll come up with some shit. You actually played a role in creating some sauces for House of Blues. True statement?
One of them, yeah. And it was actually a jalapeno-based sauce called Swamp Juice. So it's this green sauce. It's very similar to like that green Tabasco sauce or whatever, yeah.
And they still use it today, right?
To this day.
Them sons of bitches. Any royalties?
I didn't get 1 cent in that.
But
bottle.
You got what?
Free bottle.
A free bottle. But you did get guest passes that you so pleasantly allow me to come see you when you play at House of Blues, which I thank you for. Some of the best shows ever.
Thank you.
And everybody listening, please go to the Disney site and the Epcot site and bring back the Sounds of Summer, because those were great shows.
Yeah, and not only that, like what I said about that sounds like summer concert series. I mean, Disney, has got to be really hurting through all of this, and so the big money that they paid the old national acts and this and that, they're not going to have that. So it's a time to bring it back. So.
And those were some of the great times. I drive over to see you sometimes 2-3 times when you were playing that week during the summer, and those were great times. Mm-hmm. Great shows. We got some stuff in store for you guys now. If you're ready, we put together some trivia to kind of close this thing out. If you guys are down to play, and what'll happen is Ed will read Sam a trivia question, and he gets it right, he gets a point. And then Jay, I'll read you a trivia question. If you get it right, you get a point. And then the winner gets grins and giggles. I mean, it's just for fun. But the little thing here is, Jay's an 80s rock band musician. So, Sam, you're going to be answering questions about 80s rock music, 80s rock, 80s music. I don't know. I don't want to say rock because then we're going to argue about that, and I don't want to. And, Jay, you're going to be answering questions about barbecuing. So, if you're ready, Eddie C., I'll let you go first. And for grins and giggles, if he gets it wrong, let's see if Jay knows the answer. And just for the record, I think Ed knew every one of the answers because, you know, he is our, what did Johnny call you?
His autistic friend.
His autistic friend. He's his Rain Man autistic friend. He knows everything. So Eddie C, you start up. Somebody who hasn't been drinking like me is going to have to keep score. But let's see how this rolls here.
Okay, here we go. For Sam, which hit song in the 80s featured the following lyric? The love we share seems to go nowhere, and I've lost my light.
I'm totally lost on that one.
Jay Morey, hop in and steal.
It's Tainted Love.
God,
Yep. He's
I
child.
had no clue. I didn't know the answer to any of them, by the way. Wait, I knew one, two, one. I knew one. I knew all the barbecue. I didn't know any of the fucking songs. All right, Jay, you ready?
Yeah.
When making barbecue, when cooking barbecue, when do you apply a mop?
Well, what? You don't want it to burn on there, so you're applying it in the later stages, no?
Of
the cooking.
Okay, during the cooking process is the correct answer. So Sam, you want to tell us what your favorite mop to use is? No, I'm not looking for you to say smokehouse. I want a real answer.
No, and truthfully, that is my favorite barbecue sauce. You know, the big commercial stuff, if I'm doing just a ton of stuff, I might do a Sweet Baby Ray's, but the flavor of it's just not there. But for volume, you know, you can't beat when you can go and buy a 5-gallon bucket of it for $3.
You should try some Fat Boy. You know, it's a little thinner. It's but it adds a different flavor profile. I think you'll like that too.
Yeah.
Jay, do you actually barbecue to the house?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are you cooking on? Do you know? I mean, are you doing gas or charcoal or
gas? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, restaurant guys, right? Restaurant go-to. Sorry, Sam.
Hey, nobody's perfect. Some people use gas.
Well, Eddie C's got an upright smoker, and he loves it.
Hey, I'm happy, man. Something I tell people is a piece of meat doesn't know what's giving it heat.
It's true.
That's it, man. You know, it's like they say in lifting weights, your muscles don't know if you got a broomstick between 2 buckets of rocks or a $35,000 Nautilus machine. So, you know, you do what works for you and roll with it, man.
Yeah, I started on those old barrels and you know, the silly cylinders that we like to call them now. And as I move up, you know, there's a different flavor and a different style, but you're right, it all works and tastes great in the end.
All right, let's go to number 2. And Jay, if you're able to steal this one, I will be fucking surprised.
Okay, Sam, who sang the title track of the James Bond film in the 80s, License to Kill?
I should know that one too.
I thought I knew this one.
No, I lost it. I thought I knew most of the Bond songs.
All right, Jay, who sang the title track for the 80s Bond film, License to Kill?
License to Kill. So that was Timothy Dalton, right?
I've never seen a James Bond movie.
That was, I think, Dalton or Pierce Brosnan, one of them. I don't know.
Right? I don't know.
I said Duran Duran because I thought it was View to a Kill.
Yeah.
I got sucked right in. Gladys Knight.
Really, yeah, I would have never got that.
That one went by.
They'll kick me out of Atlanta now.
Oh yeah, you turn your card in right now.
God damn. See? Going to hell, man. All right. What do you get if you order burnt ends in a Kansas City-style barbecue joint?
That is the burnt ends of the ribs that they've cut off and serve as a separate dish.
Sam, are you going to let him get it or do you want to steal it?
Most places use brisket for burn ends.
Okay.
You were right on point, Jay, but,
The meat was wrong.
if I let it slide, that's like saying, I'm not going to make my joke because then we won't be able to use a podcast. All right, so I think we're tied, yeah? All right, let's let Jay go first on this one, yeah? After hours of cooking, the finished product in barbecue will have a layer on it. What do we call this layer?
Are you saying at the beginning or at the end?
No, at the end. After hours of cooking, the finished product has this outer layer that we refer to as the...
You're saying the crust?
I'm talking about what you might call the crust. What do barbecuers call it?
I don't know.
Sam?
Arc.
We call that the bark.
I was going to try to give him a hint and go, oh.
It would have been the 80s song,
the
Who
tree
Let the
in my
Dogs Out.
backyard.
All right, you're up there, Eddie C.
Okay.
You'll be able to steal this one, too.
Oh, shit. The Magic Number was a 1989 hit for the band De La Soul. Which album of theirs did it appear on?
No idea.
Jay, you know it?
Taylor.
What, you're looking for a number?
We're looking for the album title
What was the name? Yeah, what was the name of
that
the
the
album?
Magic Number appeared on from 1989 De La Soul.
What was the name of that album?
It would have to be the one album because we know they didn't have two. God forbid they had three.
Well, they've had a few.
I don't know. It's not.
I don't know if
Eisen, is it? Is that one? No?
3 Feet Rising.
3 Feet High and Rising. Yep.
Yeah. I didn't even know who De La Soul was.
Really?
Never heard of them.
You guys don't know Me, Myself, and I? Jeez.
No.
Turn your 80s card.
I know Me, Myself, and Irene. That was a great movie.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
All right, so we might have to go to Sam for some defining, if he wants to help define this for you, Jay, if you need help. In what barbecue region is pig picking most popular? You know what pig picking is?
I do not.
Sam, do you know?
I do not.
Pig picking's where we do whole pig, and you walk up and you serve from whole pig. So they barbecue the whole pig. So in what barbecue region? And you can take the lead here because Sam didn't know what pig picking was. So in what barbecue region is pig picking most popular?
Well, we're not talking like a luau. Is it like Hawaii?
No. And then that's our roots back to chemo. But no.
I don't know. Let's go KC.
No, man. Sam, do you know?
It's in the South. I've done it, but I've imagined more Carolina style.
It's North Carolina.
Oh, wow.
North Carolina.
We did one in a box with coals, just cause.
The Cahachina.
China, baby.
Yeah, a lot of that going on around Tampa, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to our 80s music question where even I knew this one. Yeah, that's not saying much.
Which 80s song by The Clash, when it was re-released in 1991, went straight to #1 in the UK?
How do you know this stuff, Ed?
Ed's a genius.
No, Lunchbox over here looked it up. I guessed right, but that was
I'm definitely Lunchbox. No idea? Sam, no idea?
I wouldn't even know how to Google that question.
Well, think about The Clash.
Jay, which 80s Clash song, when re-released in 1991, went straight to #1 in UK? The obvious one.
80s. See, the 80s.
Don't go thinking too hard. Just stay with your mindset.
Should I stay or should I go?
We're cheating, Sam. But it's
Yeah.
all for grins and giggles.
I know
And it
you're
all-
giving hints, and I still don't get them.
Well, we want to make sure that it's a tie. Just so we can get to the tiebreaker question for Jay. Jay, you ready?
Yeah.
This is a hard one. Briquettes contain an ingredient that lump charcoal does not. And it's not like you're going to say, apple. It's not like that. It's more broad-based. Briquettes contain an ingredient that lump charcoal does not.
Is it mayonnaise? Oh, wrong question.
Dude, you fucking ruined it, bro.
I don't know. Lighter fluid.
Sam,
It's usually a starch of some kind to hold it all together.
Really?
chemical additives. Chemical additives for the purpose of the uniformity and holding it together. All right. I must have skipped a question somewhere because I've been drinking. But go ahead, Ed.
Okay, back to 80s. Which Duran Duran song opened up with a sample of laughter from keyboard player Nick Rhodes' girlfriend?
I just want you to know that it doesn't say anything about the keyboardist of Duran Duran being named Nick Rhodes. Ed's just like being Ed right now.
Throwing out that useless knowledge.
Yeah, what's the answer,
Very
though?
well.
And Sam's just like, are you even talking to me? I don't know. Jay, what's the answer?
Hungry Like the Wolf.
Hungry Like the Wolf.
Yes, sir. Pretty much your only song that started with somebody laughing. Normally,
Yeah,
that's what the crowd normally did. So.
I fucked up. You have more questions than I had, but we have a tie anyways.
All right.
So, how about I read the barbecue question? Well, all right, Jay. Barbecue sauce is often deep red in color. Where can you find white barbecue sauce?
Are we saying a state specifically? Or
Yes.
are we Alabama.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Now, Sam, I thought you might know a little bit more about 80s music. So I love you, Sam, but you're not doing so well. So how about we let Jay answer the 80s question for winner take all? 80s music, Jay answers a question, winner take all. So, because if Sam answers it, we end up with a tie. But Jay, if you answer it and get it right, you win or you lose. What do you think?
Sure.
I'm winning some giggles.
All right, here we go.
Okay. Which pet shop?
No, the next one. The next one.
The one after that?
Yeah, I did wrong math. So the last one.
What is the best Kiss album?
Be careful with your answer.
For my money, it's Love Gun.
Oh, dude, you lost.
Yeah, anything other than Love Gun is the correct answer.
It says the correct answer is Kiss or anything other than Love Gun. Guys, man, I can't thank you guys enough for coming hanging out. Jay and I have that argument about what's the best Kiss album all the time. He thinks Love Gun. I think their first album, Kiss. Tell us what you think. Sam, I don't think you have an opinion because they don't cook barbecue.
You gotta love the self-titled albums for anybody. That's when we're starting up.
That's ass kissing right there.
Like an album named after Love Gun, because I learned in a movie that was talking about his penis.
He learned in a movie.
Yeah.
He learned in a
Role
movie.
models. Yeah.
That's a great movie.
Yes.
Rome. I've never seen that movie.
Oh, you gotta watch.
Really?
Really?
Oh, if you're a Kiss
Should
fan, that's
Should we talk about the movies I haven't seen? Because you guys will all really just like not believe me. Guys, I appreciate you guys coming on the show. I appreciate. Why are you laughing at me, old man? I'm looking for something else.
I didn't know if you were having a stroke there or something.
Dude, That might be better than being quarantined, you know? I don't know. But they tag it COVID, so it would suck. I appreciate you guys coming out, hanging out. Sam, you're a rock star. Thanks for pimping the voodoo. Thanks for working the magic out there at Pinch Penny. Where can we find you on social media?
At Big Green Eggs and Sam, and I have a new YouTube channel starting. That's Green Eggs and Sam.
Very cool, very cool. Guys, make sure you jump out there. You can find all your Green Egg products, all your Green Mountain products, all your accessories. Most importantly, grab that VooDoo. Jay, we go back a long time, man. Where can they find you? They've seen you, they've heard you, they know all about you, but tell us one more time.
SlipperyOneBand.com.
We've done 2 events together. Appreciate you coming out, always supporting the VooDoo. You're my brother, man. I love you. Thanks for coming out, hanging out.
Yeah.
Let's do this more often. Let's have you on. But just so you know, the tiebreaker question you're always going to get wrong. With that said, guys,
I'm going
thanks
to
so
jump in
much.
and say, loving that lovesick too, Jay.
Oh, all right.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
See you guys.
And there you have it, Booties, another episode of the VooDoo Chef Podcast. Let's give a big shout out to everyone involved with VooDoo Chef and all things VooDoo, starting with Woostoff Knives, the official knife of the VooDoo Chef. And jamming up and down the streets of all Ybor City and Tampa Bay, Ragged Old Souls. Thanks for letting me jam with you guys. And when those amps are cranking, the turntables are definitely spinning thanks to the official DJ of the VooDoo Chef, DJ Don Pablo. Check him out spinning all across town, most importantly, at all VooDoo Chef events. Speaking of events, getting ready for yours? Check out VooDoo Chef Catering, custom created events for every shape and size. Log on to VooDooChefCatering.com to get your information today. A great big shout out to all my Voodies that are in the VooDoo crew. Thank you for your support. And of course, we could not do what we do in the crew without all of our crew sponsors. First Watch, Chef Shane Shively, thank you for believing in our mission. And of course, we can't forget VooDoo Mortgage. For all your mortgage needs, check them out at VooDooMortgage.com. Alessi Bakery, a Tampa staple. Drop in and check them out today. And our newest sponsor, Twisted South Food Truck. Chef Adam Jessup, thank you for what you do. And of course, all things VooDoo are in support of the VooDoo Chef Foundation, providing culinary scholarship and feeding those in need. To find out more information or make a donation yourself, log on to VooDooChefFoundation.com today.
See you guys.
All right, Sam, you're welcome to stick around if you want. I got some questions for you, Jay. Angelina put this together for me so we could get you and Eddie C going together. But I'm struggling pulling it up because Angelina was going to put the trivia together and I was going to put you against Ed.
Yeah.
But then we got Sam in here today. She pulled up the 50 greatest hair metal bands of all time, according to Rolling Stone.
Okay.
And I'm struggling to get it up.
Sounds like a personal problem, Chef.
Number 46, a band you introduced me to, and I'm just going to go randomly. till we get to the top 10. 46, Kick Tracy, No Rules. My laptop's amazing here. Or my iPad, whatever the fuck you call it. I know, computers don't have problems.
I posted something the other day. I tagged you in Facebook.
Yeah,
London.
London.
Yep, that was where Blackie started. Nikki Sixx apparently ran through there before. Fred Curry from Cinderella. It was like they never did anything themselves, but it was like the petri dish for some of the other ones. And I think Izzy was in there before Guns at some point. Their lineage is really all over the place, but I was like, damn. So that's what I've been doing while I work all day is I fuck around and I look for bands I've missed. That was one.
Number 38, Brittany Fox. Really? I mean, I owned their album, but they only had one, right?
Hey,
yeah, but did you really buy the one that
Finger left, and then their first records were fairly.
Goodbye to Jane? Not that I had that album. Why is Alice Cooper in there, other than the fact that Kip Winger played bass? But Badlands made it into the list.
I wouldn't call them hair metal, but
At 35. I want to get to the top 10. I'm locking up because I got too many computers open. I want to go see if you guys can get them right and name all 10 between the two of you. Because I think I knew 2. And but again, not saying much. Not saying much.
Poison has to be in there.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see if you guys can get them all here. I'll open it up on my phone. Jay, Saigon Kick came in at 33. I know you and I talked about Saigon.
I just talked with Matt a couple of weeks ago.
You guys were going to do a show together in Miami, weren't you? Or you did?
The singer. There was the talk of it, and then we decided not to do it. But he's actually doing like some vocal training things down there, and I was just curious of what he was offering in that. So
for you?
Possibly. You can always pick up different things and whatever, breathing techniques and exercises and stuff.
Well, just so you know, this right here will tell you the list is skewed because at number 44, Kiss Lick It Up came in. So we know the list is obviously skewed.
What?
I know, man. Bank Tango came in ahead of Kiss, really. Junkyard came in ahead of Kiss. Slaughter came in ahead of Kiss.
So they saying this by band or by like specific record?
No, I think it, just by what I'm looking at now, I think it's specific records, but I'm way past the header, so I can't go back or else I'm fucked. Enough's Enough was 24, and I got to tell you, that was a great show. Hanoi Rocks was 23. White Tiger, 22. Love Hate, 20. Blackout in the Red Room, love it. Cherry Pie, 19. Night Songs, 18. So I'm thinking it's best hair metal albums. Pyromania, 17.
Oh, wow.
Stay Hungry.
So I'm going to head out, guys.
All right, Sam, be good, brother. I'll chat with you tomorrow about all that other stuff, yeah?
Sounds great, man. Nice to meet you guys.
Thanks for coming in, brother.
Soon.
You too.
See you.
Stay Hungry was 16. Quiet Riot Mental Health was 15. Dirty Rotten Filthy Stinking Rich was 14. Pornography 13. Whitesnake Self-Titled was 12. Tesla was number 11. Great radio. So let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and see if you guys can get all the albums. How about that? So,
I'll let you take a stab at one.
All right, take a shot. Anybody? Bueller?
I'm going to say Look What the Cat Dragged In's got to be up there.
Look What the Cat Dragged In, number 2. And that is one of the albums I got. Yeah. That is one of the albums I got. But when we talk about hair metal, you know, I don't think of some of these bands, but I don't know. That's me. Look what the Cat dragged in, number 2 according to Rolling Stone, hair metal album all time.
And I mean,
Jay?
I don't know if they put Bon Jovi on there, but if they are, then Slippery and Wet's got to be in there.
Bon Jovi, Slippery and Wet, number 3. Good call. So we've got number 2 and number 3. Eddie C.
How about the first Faster Pussycat?
I don't know what the first Faster Pussycat was,
Self-titled.
but I will tell you that Faster Pussycat is number 7.
Well,
Jay, wasn't that your number 1 hair band of all time when we did this?
was it?
Yeah, they change all the time, but I think that's what you called back in the day. Faster Pussycat, number 7.
I'll be darned.
God, would Hysteria be on there?
Hysteria, number 1. Took it
Really?
off the list. So you've got Hysteria. You've got Cat Dragged In. You've got Slippery. And you have Faster Pussycat at number 7. So we've got number 10.
Okay, where's Shout at the Devil?
Shout at the Devil. Good call, Eddie C. Shout at the Devil. The other one I got was number 4.
Okay,
So I think we now have 1, 2, 3, 4.
7.
We're looking for 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. You should nail number 5, Jay.
Hair metal. Trying to think. I'm overthinking this. Yeah, what it said like Cinderella Night Songs, but you had already said
Cinderella.
That. Oh, is it in there?
Cinderella. Long Cold Winter, number 10. Give it to you.
Wow.
Long Cold Winter, number 10. Good job.
Well, are they
Eddie C.
going to throw an Appetite for Destruction in that shit?
You know, Appetite did not make it, and I was surprised too. And I don't know why. I don't know what the criteria was, which makes it a little challenging. Let me tell you, we do have one repeat artist. One repeat artist. So, and remember, we're talking hair metal 80s. So, want me to give you some hints here?
Would there be 2 by Faster Pussycat? Because that second one was a killer, man. Wake Me When It's Over.
No second by Faster Pussycat. The band that had a...
It's going to be open up and say, no?
not in the top 10. The repeat performance came from 1981, and it is an LA band, but aren't they all?
So are we talking
the first
Crew? Too Fast for Love?
Too Fast for Love.
Yeah.
That came in at number 9, I think.
Wow.
So you have Long Cold Winter at number 10. Motley Crue, Too Fast for Love at 9.
Yeah.
We're still looking for number 8, which boggles my mind. In my opinion, they have one good song. Number 7, Faster Pussycat you have. We're still looking for number 6. I love number 6, as did Jay Pines. We're still looking for number 5. Jay, I think you would prefer their second album to their first. We have 4, Motley Crue. We have Slipper and Wet. We have Look What the Cat Dragged In and Hysteria. So we're looking for number 5.
Probably LA Guns, right?
And number 6. No, Cocked and Loaded was like 40s. Ed, any guesses? I'll give you a hint after your guess here. 5 and 6 is what we're looking for.
Oh, man, I got to really drag the brain here.
So one of them is managed by Doc McGee.
Well, that's Kiss.
Not Kiss.
Bon Jovi.
You're saying at a different time. Oh, so it's got to be the other Jersey rock band.
I believe they are a New Jersey band.
It's got to be the Skids.
It is Skid Row.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It is Skid. Are they a New Jersey band?
Yeah.
All right, last band. It's an LA band. Oh, there's two more. We missed number 8 too. 8 fucking doesn't need to be here. Number 6. Fucking, I believe the guitar player for number 6 was recommended to take Randy Rhoads' place after Ozzy, but I think he turned it down to stay here. I could be wrong. I forget names and shit.
Well, there's Brad Gillis, but Night Ranger's not in there.
Nah, he was a fill-in. He was a fill-in. I think this guy said no.
Now, the first guy that did a few shows and turned it down was named Bernie Torme. Just passed away a few months ago. Damn. Trying to think. It's an LA band.
Geico.
Rat. Shit.
Out of the cellar. Number 6. Wasn't Warren DeMartini supposed to go play for Ozzy? I thought I heard that somewhere.
I don't know.
Could have been possible. Sure.
I don't know. Ozzy wrote all his own music too. So. Last one here, number 8. Let me give you some hints here. They suck. Was never a fan.
So it's not Rush?
It's not Rush. That was a great guess, though. That was a great guess. I actually saw Rush, and it was a great show, but they suck. I don't like them. I wouldn't even know how to describe them. Let's see here. They're from Hagerstown, Maryland.
Kicks?
Fuck you. What the fuck? How do you guys know that?
Dude, there's only 2 bands I know from Maryland. Kicks and Clutch. That's it. And Clutch wasn't around in the 80s.
Why does everybody love Kicks?
I'm going to let Jay take that one.
I mean, I think they think that style goes back to that old AC/DC, and you know, if you lived on the East Coast up in that area, I mean, I think they played like all the time, and so people from that area had some type of affinity with them. I was never much of a fan either. But.
You know, it's funny. It says it's also one where AC/DC become the primary inspiration, and I don't know that I hear that. I mean, of course, Jay, what song do I like from Kicks?
Close your eyes.
Cold Blood.
Yeah, there you go.
Because it's like fucking candy store music, bubblegum rock.
I love Girl Money. I love that song.
You and Angelina can get together and jam that out anytime you want.
Girl Money rules. That one I love.